Hey guys, thank you for those of you that have tuned in. Good for us to be punctual for once. So that proves if I'm on my own, then we can be absolutely on time. So just so I know that I'm not just talking to myself, can I get a thumbs up in the chat? Can somebody give me a heads up that the stream's working, everybody can hear me okay, visuals are good, audio is good. Yeah, good. Thank you, Mouse. Thank you very much for doing that. So we'll give it a couple of minutes. We give people the opportunity to join. I'm sure right now our good friend Frido is running around the chats, pinging everybody. Guys, also if you can join on Twitter Spaces, it's also a great place to join. Reason for that: when you join on YouTube, you're watching it. Fantastic. You join from your Twitter account. Actually, it beams it to all of your followers, right? So all of your followers can see that you've joined our live stream, which is obviously super exciting today. And maybe they come along, right? Maybe they learn something, and that's good for everybody. Cool. Well, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. What a week, by the way. What a week. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here before we get going. But yeah, thank you, Frido. I got the thumbs up from Mouse a minute ago, so he's beat you. He's beat you to the punch. Bear with me. I'm trying to multitask here at the same time, just checking that everything is where it needs to be. So bear with me 2 seconds. So what are we doing here today, right? So you can see that I'm screen sharing at the moment. We thought it'd be nice to just have an impromptu sort of catch up at the end of the week, right? And I think we did this a couple of weeks, and I think it's a good opportunity. Many people, across many communities that we know, and also our own community, maybe up to speed, maybe not so up to speed with what we've been doing in Foxify and Funded over the last few weeks, and it's some really exciting stuff. So we'll go through that in a minute. But what a week, right? What a week! I don't know about everybody else, but there was that pump up into the 70s of Bitcoin, and it felt good leading up to the election, and then it dropped back, and then the fear starts to set in, and you think, what's going on here, and is it going to turn on us? And 10 out of 10 to everybody that held their nerve, because I think the election went the way most people in this industry would like, and I think it probably went the way a lot of people thought it would as well, right? So, but obviously, crypto's people will say, well, it's an echo chamber, but at the same time, I think there was a mood music there, and quite frankly, I know I talk to lots of different people from all walks of life outside of crypto, that are have interest in the US, whether that's from a business or some of them VCs, LPs into VCs, and generally the general consensus is that everybody kind of saw that Trump winning was a positive thing for the markets, and certainly in terms of sentiment. So so great week. Obviously things have just gone absolutely mad, which is fantastic. I think you have, I don't know about anyone else, I have bear market PTSD. So when something's good, when the market's good and it's feeling great, then I'm always just kind of waiting for it to cut back. But long may it continue. I think ETH definitely has been trampled, absolutely trampled. It's been a very sorry state. But even ETH getting back on board, I think my tip, I think BNB is going to pop. I think BNB has just been hanging around, coming up a little bit with the pumps, and they like doing their own thing. They like raising the flag when they're ready to. Sometimes they go early, sometimes it's after everybody else. It's very rarely with everybody else, and so that's my tip. If you want to look at the next thing that's going to pop, I think if you're looking, as long as there isn't sort of a big pullback in the market, my tip would be BNB is going to do something big. So keep an eye out on that. So let's crack on. So what we're here for. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Danny. So I'm the founder of Foxify. So Foxify, if you don't know what it is a perpetuals DEX, right? So what? Who cares, right? There's 200 odd perpetuals DEXs out there in the cryptoverse, which is, to have sort of a perpetuals DEX where you don't have to hand over custody of your funds and you can trade crypto pairs with leverage is fantastic, but it's not exactly unique. Let's be honest, right? So what is unique about Foxify is that we have Funded. Now, Funded is the first and the only 100% on-chain prop trading application. Now, what does that mean? If you don't know what prop trading is, in short, you trade, you perform, you get access to additional capital, and then you get a big profit share. You get to keep 80% of the profits that you generate. So in a nutshell, Foxify is the only perpetuals platform in existence, the decentralized perpetuals platform that you can use today. You can trade on there. You start off with $400 of your own money. It remains your money. You do a 7-day challenge at the end of the 7 days. Excuse me. At the end of the 7 days, you turn 400 into 800, it's your money. But you also then qualify for more funding as long as you hit the targets that are set out. And then you can scale from there. And that scales very quickly, right? And you get to keep 80% of any profits that you generate at the end, right? Now, there's an even bigger twist to that. So that's super, super interesting. We're doing great things in Foxify. But we also thought, well, hang on a second, right? So we're sifting through the mud, right? For want of a better term for traders within this industry, and we're finding the gold. And it's not easy. Let me show you now. I'm gonna let's jump onto the screen. You can see I'm screen sharing. Bitcoin's popping right now, which is fantastic. This sort of time on a Friday, if you start seeing it pump, good signs, because if it's going to dump on a Friday, normally it has by now. Not financial advice, and I'm not a trader by any stretch, but just my 2 cents. So you can see this is our perpetuals DEX. It's very smart. It's got lots of features, all fantastic, right? But I think trying to go to town with 200 other perpetuals DEXs based on features and benefits, or having the most pairs, the most liquidity, isn't exactly the biggest differentiator that you're going to find. What's super, super different about what we do, like I said, is the funded platform. So explained in a nutshell here actually is a really simplistic version. You can get funded within 7 days, so really short time period. You get to keep 80% of profits you generate. There is no paper trading. Web2 prop trading is a scam. Yeah, they're calling it synthetic funds now. It's a scam. There is no better way of saying it. What they do is they take your money, they get you to paper trade, they pretend they've given you money. It's still not real money. They want you to lose. They make money from your deposits, and they don't want you to cash out. Completely different story with us. Okay, you trade with real funds, you get real USDC into your trader account, and actually the trader account splits the money out at the end of the challenge. So if you are due a payment, the trader account will pay your wallet, and then the remaining funds will go back to our vault, right? So you can see real USDC in your account is 100% on chain. There's no drawdown limits at the moment in our system, and you don't have to pay up a deposit. You do need funds to qualify, but you don't need to pay us an amount of money that you don't see back. Like I say, if you grow your initial balance, it's your money. If you lose it, well, that's the same as just trading somewhere else. So there's no additional risk whatsoever. Now, once you get into the challenges and get into the really important part here, we're not looking for lucky traders. We're looking for really good traders. Yeah. So you start off a qualification and you trade with 400, you prove it, and then we'll give you 500 of our money. You prove yourself. You have to hit a certain number of trades, be active a certain number of days, because what we're not interested in is finding people who can, there's a lot of people who are experts in trading all of a sudden this week, right? But it's trading consistently over a long period of time, much, much harder to do. So you have to hit a certain number of trading days, certain number of trades. You have to hit win rate, and then you have to hit a P&L. And if you perform really well, you get promoted. If you perform well, you just get retained at that level. You perform badly, then you'll be demoted. Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit, and you can see you jump through the stages, and you get more and more funding, which obviously gives you a bigger balance, which means you can make more gains, and you get to keep 80% of a bigger number. Right now, we started to think, well, hang on a second, we're sifting through the mud and we're finding some real gold nuggets here. So what can we do to use this, right? Then we built Kitsune. So Kitsune, let me just come back because I don't want this on the page. I just want a standard background, and I'll come back to you. Now so I can see you. So what is Kitsune? So Kitsune is our trading bot. Okay. Now there is lots of trading bots, trading bot providers. So many of us, and us actually, have been hit hard by different people that sell you something that just isn't possible, right? They sell you a trading bot that can do 1% a day, or they sell you a trading bot and they use, lines like it's never lost money, right? But then there's little tricks, for instance. We won't name names because we're not here to do that today. But little tricks that you see these guys doing is that they won't realize losses. They just keep doubling down and doubling down when they're in difficult positions. They don't realize losses. but they want to realize profits. Or maybe on one of their trades, they've made some money and they say, hey, come on, pay me my commission. On the other end, you're down 30%, but it's not a realized loss. So we're just going to hang on to it. There's loads of these little things going on in the industry, and they just suck liquidity out of people because they're not transparent, they're not on chain, they're not open, and ultimately they're very, very risky. Now, trading is hard. Anybody who tells you that trading, is a sure thing and they'll always make profit, stay away from those people. It is hard. So what we realize is, well, what if you take really good traders? And what if you put traders through their paces, almost like the Navy SEAL camp of traders, right? Put them through their paces. They've got to do minimum 4 to 7 weeks of performance in the toughest of trading conditions. And if they come out at the end of it, then they've really proven themselves. Great. Okay. Well, copy trading isn't new, right? People know that you can go on to many different platforms like Binance and you can copy trade the best traders. Now, even the best traders blow up. Again, anybody tells you that isn't the case. Anybody tells you that they're onto a sure thing and they'll never lose, stay the fuck away from those people, right? They are scammers, right? Even the best traders blow up. And do you know how we know that? We can see in the data. We see people that triple accounts in a matter of weeks and we see them blow up in a week, right? We see people perform for 12 weeks straight and then we see them blow up. One thing is guaranteed is that all traders eventually have some big drawdown or some big losses. So what we realize is, well, actually, we've got the Navy SEAL camp of traders and we're going to build this really intelligent trading bot which uses various data points, amalgamates those different data points. So it's not only looking at performance, it's looking at consistency, it's looking at the way they manage their accounts over time, and it's looking at performance across a group of people. And then you're able to hedge. That means that if you've got a group of very good traders, it is like a group of Navy SEALs, even a Navy SEAL can hit, the worst fate, right? But it's about the whole unit. And what Kitsune does is it aggregates across a large number of proven traders, and then it delivers an aggregated performance. That means that when one of our Navy SEALs inevitably goes down, which is inevitable, again, anyone tells you otherwise, stay away. They're off their heads. But when one goes down, it means that you take a hit. The team doesn't like it, but the team goes on because you know what? You've got a whole team of people that perform more frequently than they don't perform. And so Kitsune's been in action for 4 weeks now. We've been running it as like a private pilot within our community. I'll talk about what the results have looked like so far. So there's slightly different results between Kitsune, the bot, and also the traders themselves, mainly because we've been playing around with different sizing positions, testing the tech and so on. But in terms of trader performance, really interesting so far. So in week 1 of our pilot, actually trading performance was plus 24%. Just, I think that's an outlier. It's crazy. You're not going to do 24% every week, but that week it was plus 24%. So really, really big, right? The second week, trader performance was much more sedated, much more sensible. And we saw performance of around 2.5%. Okay. So, 2.5% a week for 52 weeks is still pretty crazy, but much more sedate, much more sensible. Third week, really tough week when we had big dump leading up to the presidential election. And unfortunately, some of the Navy SEALs that are proven, one of the guys that blew up, he's delivered 156%. If you'd given him $100 7 weeks ago, he would have turned $100 into $256. And then he went and had drawdown that would have turned your $256 into, I think, something like about $170. So big drawdown on that trader. And it was very difficult. But the team overall carries that performance. So it was a difficult week. We saw minus 16% from the trading group that week. So it was the first loss-making week, 3 weeks in. And we've just completed, we're a couple of days away from the end, but difficult to do this over a weekend. And trading typically stops over a weekend. So we're just getting to that point where we know where we are coming towards the end of week 4, and happy to share the results with you today. So first week was plus 24% trading performance. Second week, we saw plus 2.5% trader performance. Third week, we saw minus 16% performance of the traders. And there was some big, we saw one person was minus 87%, massive blow up. And there's somebody who had been, like I say, had more than 2.5 times their capital in 7 weeks. But then they saw a pretty sizable drawdown. But they saw a sizable drawdown, by the way, of part of what they'd achieved over that 7 weeks. But overall, so minus 16%, difficult week, but also quite reassuring to see, it's realistic. There are losses some weeks. It's just that it doesn't wipe you out because of the system that we run. So this week, the good news. That's my drum roll. This week, our performance is... now, there's a slight difference between Kitsune performance because we didn't put all capital into trades this week. We left some capital on the table. And that's because we want to keep some capital to the side just in case somebody suddenly passes the standard and Kitsune wants to pick them up and they want to follow that trader. Then we want to make sure that we haven't got all of the pilot funds completely, lumped into the traders that are already there. Otherwise, then we have to start splitting funds around, right? But there's a reason why there's a difference between the two figures. So trader performance for this week is a massive 8.11%, so huge. So of the 4 weeks so far, second best week so far. Kitsune's performance off the back of that, which people in the community which have deposited funds into the pilot are interested in. Kitsune's overall performance off the back of that is 6.26% for the week. Yeah. So again, difference between the two, because whilst the traders that were active delivered 8.11%, we didn't have all capital that's in the pilot at the moment committed to those traders. So yeah, super bullish week. 6.26% for Kitsune and 8.11% for the trader performance overall. So yeah, so fantastic, like really good. So let's cut to the chase, right? So how can you take part in this? Simple answer, you can't. This is a private pilot. So if you don't know anything about Foxify, we have the Fox token. You can join the private members club, which is called the Fox 10, by only owning 1,000 EB Fox, which is one of our staking pools. If you go into Discord, they'll help you through the process so that you can acquire your 1,000 EB Fox. I think today 1,000 EB Fox is worth about $160. So we're not talking crazy sums. You can become a golden fox. There's about 100 golden foxes within the project today. That's growing quite quickly. I think probably a lot of it because of the stuff that we're doing here with Kitsune. If you want to become a golden fox, 5,000 tokens will get you in as a golden fox. And golden foxes get absolute priority on anything we're running like this as a pilot. So this is alpha at the moment. We've done Genesis. We're now in alpha stage, and the next phase will be beta. But community members, Fox Den members, golden foxes most especially, will have priority. So we see ourselves probably running this for about another 3 to 4 weeks. It's really important to build performance over time, and we're learning all the time. So every week we're getting more and more stable. We're learning how to refine the system even better and how to make sure that the text is as stable as possible as well. So yeah, so if you're new to Foxify and you've joined us today, fantastic, thank you. If you're interested in taking part in this in the future, look, heads up, trading is risky, right? You can lose absolutely everything. Anyone tells you otherwise, stay away. However, what we're doing is trying to solve that problem. How can you have copy trading without the boom and bust? How can you copy across a number of people where they're carefully selected using really informed data points and try to minimize that overall risk so that you see performance over time, so that when you see some bad performance, it's not complete wipeout. And when you see quite a few people performing, you can start to see really good numbers like you see. This week, a trader performance 8.11% is absolutely huge. And but then protection on the downside, because you're kind of spreading your risk if you have some really challenging weeks. So if you're new to Foxify, get yourself in the community. I have a special promotion as well, which I haven't told anyone else. So Frido's here, so he's head of community, so he's going to have to handle this, and I suppose it's not something we need to market. So special promotion. So we're going to give a $2,500 free trade to anybody that's here. So there's 82 people watching this now. I don't know how many people are sort of tuned in. I think maybe that includes everybody on Twitter as well. 83 now. So all 83 people, you can have a free trade on us. So how does that work? Because it's quite difficult in the Web3 world for us to hand over money to a stranger, and we'll probably never see you again, right? So all you need to do is go into the Discord and put into our general chat. So join our Discord, put in the general chat, hashtag Foxify free trade, right? So I'm just going to put this here. So you can just copy that. Foxify free trade. So there are some rules. So what you need to do, you need to provide the capital for the trade yourself. So take $50, 50x leverage, completely YOLO. It has to be $50 at 50x leverage. So that will give you a $2,500 position, right? And then YOLO. You've got a 24-hour limit. So you need to share that hashtag, open a ticket, log your wallet with us so we know it's you, because we can't have someone doing it 5 times and then saying, hey, refund me the 2 that didn't go so well. You need to be completely fair. So just go in the chat, open a ticket, share your wallet, and then boom, open your trade. Your trade wins, it's your money on us, no problem. Your trade loses, just drop it into the ticket, say, hey, I lost my trade. Frito will sort you out and we'll give you a full refund within 24 hours. Now, your trade can only be open for a maximum 24 hours as well. Frito knows the rules inside out, so he'll share that with you in the ticket also. But yeah, so all 80 plus people that are here today, you can have a $25,000 free trade, and Godspeed. I hope you open that trade. I hope it absolutely pumps. I hope you make a fortune, and I hope you stick around in the Foxify community for a while after. Cool, good. So that was a big download, guys. So I know lots of new people are here because so many people have joined, but I am interested. Hit me with the comments, guys. I can see it. How are the golden? There's many golden foxes here, right? Let us know if you're a golden fox and you're in the chat, and let us know how are you feeling about Kitsune and how he's been doing over this last week. Raider number 42 says, "Give me my money." I think that's probably my ex-missus. So yeah, good to see you here. Glad you could make it. There you go. West Easy Golden here, pumped with Kitsune. I'm a golden fox 5 times over. Greedy. Definitely my ex-missus. No doubt about it. Super bullish from El Marble. Super bullish. Yeah, no, we're feeling good. We're feeling good. The great thing about it, actually, and just so we're clear also, we copy and we provide the technology, and what we do is we combine talent, trading talent, but we don't know them. There's no personal relationship there. There's no bias whatsoever, right? Because it's a completely data-driven approach. Now, you have to go into anything that involves trading because it is really, really hard, and be ready, that it can, it can work against you. There's always risk, right? But what we're doing is combining the data with the technology and democratizing that and allowing others then to partake. And it's having a big and obviously a very positive impact as well. But we do obviously go into it completely eyes open, knowing that sometimes things can maybe not go your way. But ultimately, there is no opportunity without some risk. So Daniel there saying, yeah, Golden Fox here. Loving the easy 6.5% that you made this week. Yeah, 6.61. 6.61. And Francis as well. So Frank, we know Frank really well. So Golden Fox here too. Happy boys making 6.65%. Yeah, so look, guys, maybe a bit of a tease for people that aren't here. So get yourself in the community. Get yourself immersed with everybody. And take the free trade at the absolute minimum. Just take the free trade, right? You're gonna make money, or you're gonna get your money back. You can't lose, right? And if you stick around, fantastic. If you're interested in terms of where things are going, and we'll do more updates like this, and you want to get deep into the rest of the community, join the Fox Den, become a Golden Fox. That's your best way to get access to these things. We're very sort of open sort of team, and there's definitely pitfalls sometimes when you do things like very openly, because things don't always go to plan. But it's a great community where everything's super visible. I'm the founder CEO. I think probably in the last 2.5 years, unfortunately, if I'm honest, I probably should disconnect more. Probably not hardly a day in the last 2.5 years where I haven't been actively in the community myself, and I don't think you'll see that in any other platforms that are out there. Yeah, so beef waffle. Beef waffle, I know, buddy. I know. So golden here. When can I deposit more? Let's take the slowly catch a monkey approach. We're onto a good thing, but let's it'll come. It'll come. But 6.61% result this week so far. So looking good. Fingers crossed. Kumbaya. Play the guitar. Hold hands, and let's all pray that the good times continue. Oh, great question. Yeah, so that's a good thing actually. So if you don't know the token, we're really responsible around tokenomics. So the great thing is with Foxify, whilst the token, like many alts, have been beaten up a bit, started to recover really well in the last couple of weeks, up sort of 20-25%, and picking up some steam. We do expect, obviously, once we go into a public mode, we will always give priority to golden foxes. So if 100 people suddenly want to get their hands on 5,000 Fox tokens so they can get priority access to Kitsune, that's a hell of a lot of demand that's going to come for the token. But in addition to that, you've also got this continuous buy pressure. So if we're generating more volume on the platform, then it's generating daily buy pressure. And the reason for that is that 30% of all trading fees on the platform are used to buy back the Fox token, then distribute it between the two staking pools. And so it has this, whilst, clearly Kitsune, we want to see it perform. We want to see it to continue to deliver returns for people that are taking part. The real boost for it long term is that it's buying tokens off the open market. We 10x what we're doing at the moment, which is fairly small, and we could easily be in a position where you're talking about $5,000 plus a day of buybacks. I think we saw, this week we saw some days like $300, $400, $500. Don't hold me to that. In terms of buyback. So that's a lot of tokens. And because the token price is quite low, where alts have been beaten up for a few months, is a massive opportunity. A couple of other notes on the token as well. We don't have any minting of the token. There is no release schedule. We launched the token over a year ago. Maximum vesting was a year. All vesting is done. There's no big unlocks. And the token is actually deflationary because one of the staking pools actually burns supply as well. So there will always, every day, there is less tokens in circulation than there were the previous day. And as we scale up these utilities and we see more and more buybacks of the token, it's fingers crossed we keep on the path we're on, and it's going to be a super exciting time because the value creation, quite frankly, versus our FDV at the moment is just on a different planet. So a good time. Yeah, so Will, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so gold. We love Kitsune. We do. We absolutely love Kitsune. So just to finish off here, if you don't know, by the way, if you want to ask questions, if you're new here, now's the time to hit it. But if you don't know, so Kitsune is a Japanese samurai fighting fox. So Kitsune was abandoned and found as a cub, has lived for hundreds of years because he's a mythical creature as well. And he's mastered the art of self-control and discipline, and he started to turn that skill to trading, and that's Kitsune. He's our Japanese fighting fox. And I wish I could share a picture, which I can't do from this application, but there's some really cool images of Kitsune, and we'll be doing a lot more sort of in terms of sort of building out that character as we continue through the next phases. So yeah, just a reminder if you're joining us, because there's no questions coming in. So an update. So really good performance this week. So Kitsune saw performance of plus 6.61%. Trader performance actually was plus 8.11, but we didn't have all of the capital in the pilot deployed. Obviously, that's really helping in terms of the progress of the platform, of the token. More golden foxes are coming in because they want to be part of what we're doing, and we're also seeing an increase in terms of buybacks as well. So yeah, good week so far. Slowly catch a monkey, because I know Beef Waffle just wants more. Lots of people just want more, and then we'll be looking to move into the next phase in the next few weeks. So guys, talk your ears off for 30 minutes. Appreciate you taking the time today. Hope you get in. Go and get that free trade. Hashtag Foxify free trade. Go and get the free trade. Join the community. Follow our socials, and we'll be seeing more of you. Take care. Cheers, guys.